Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Happy Tuesday to you. I'm looking for the video super duper quick so I can see what questions you have. But you guys, I am here with Emily. You may have seen her on Get Oiling did a thing on YouTube, one of their work sessions, or they posted on YouTube. One of the work sessions, what was that, 2 weeks ago now?
Yeah, about 2 weeks.
And we talked about, well, you guys more, talked about the system that you've been building from Go for Gold. And like, man, you guys be killing it. So what was life like? First of all, how long have you been with Young Living?
I became a member about 4.5 years ago. And then 4 years ago, I decided to pursue the business with the goal of it being my full-time job one day.
Yeah. Awesome. And then like, what was your growth story? What does your story look like with
my growth story? I came into it when people were growing really fast, and I was like, I want in. I worked in the corporate world. I had a 2-year-old in daycare full-time, and I just come back from maternity leave with dropping off a 12-week-old baby in daycare, and thought, I want to do with those, from my point of view, what those housewives are doing. They're killing it. They're making a difference, and they're making a lot of money. And this doesn't have to be like the end of all the corporate structure that I thought was going to be my life for the rest of my life. Yeah. So that was like, whoa, there's a working that, and people were ranking up like normal. Might have a bad connection.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. I can understand what you're saying though.
Sorry.
No, you're okay.
So I started in January as when I consciously said I'm going to do this. February, I ranked to senior star, to executive, like in a month, and I grew real fast. And by August, I hit silver, and that was August 2016, and it just went, and I've been at silver ever since. And I've done all the things. And 2 years into working this business, I got laid off, which was a blessing because I wanted to be able to pour into this.
Uh-huh.
So I was laid off the same month I wanted to quit. I had a vision to quit by October. It didn't happen. I got laid off instead. So I'm like, all right, we're going to, like, now it's going to finally happen, right? Yeah. And I joined all the challenges, worked with so many different cross lines, diamond and aboves, and things were just not working out. And it was really frustrating because I was able to be successful in the corporate environment, and I didn't know why I wasn't able to find the same success other people were having, and it was really frustrating. But I didn't want to quit, and my husband kept saying, like, at what point are we going to walk away from this? I don't want to kill your dream, but, this isn't a nonprofit,
Right, yeah.
So, yeah, I think 2020 was the year that was going to be like, it's either going to work or it's not, and we're going to have to figure out something else. And, it doesn't have to be going back to like a corporate gig, but I can't go on not providing for my family,
Right. Yeah. Oh, 100%. So how did you find out? Was it through Abby? How did you find out through about Go for Gold?
Yeah. So I was in the fall found Teamzy, which is a CRM program, and thought, oh my God, this is amazing. And I'm able to have like the same follow-up system and contact prospects and all that. And it's just a database, and it's for all network marketing businesses, not just to the Young Living specific. So I got into Teamzy for 30 days, and somehow things just started showing up on my radar. So I was with that CRM, and then I saw a post about Get Oiling, and I'm like, wait, what is this? It's like the Teamzy, but like on steroids.
Yes.
Because it's for Young Living. It's going to replace my project broadcast, my email system, my website, all the things. So I was already like, this is too good to be true. I'm going to vet this out and see if this is really what it is. And that happened around Black Friday. So I signed up the day after Black Friday for Get Oiling, and just like learned all the systems, started dropping all my old subscriptions, moved everything over. And 2 weeks into it, they're talking about Martha, how she got to gold in 6 months. I'm like, what are we doing now? Because I felt like I kept trying new things, and I'm like, I got to look into this, but at the same time, I didn't want to keep delaying growth by learning new.
Yeah.
And so I bought your Go for Gold package right before the holidays. And then the holidays hit and travel, and I couldn't really dive into it. I had 1 foot in and 1 foot out because it sounded really good, but is it too good to be true? And at one point, my husband said, my husband said that, if you're not all in, it's not going to work. Even if it's a good program, it just won't work because you're not going, and I said, I know. And because of your interview videos, I started watching them on YouTube, because in my head, I had heard so many people have success, but they weren't duplicating it. So, I mean, my own enroller got to roll calm down in 3 years. It doesn't mean it worked for me,
Right.
So were you the unicorn, or is this going to work for me as well? And so the interviews I watched on YouTube, people just like me who enrolled around the same time I did, who had the same frustrations and did all the things. So now it became more real. And then, I felt like I lost a couple months there by being in and out and not doing it. But in February, I doubled down on you, and I just went for the Go for Gold, and I'm loving it. I have enrolled people through it. It's just like, I haven't seen huge success yet because it's so new, but I've seen already success that I wasn't having 2 months ago,
Right.
Yeah, in many ways. I mean, the enrollments, but also how I'm running my groups. I've created groups outside of Young Living that I'm meeting people in and funneling them into my group. I watched a video, you did a video random. I listened to the YouTubes while I'm doing errands because I'm like, I gotta put something good in my head today. And you did a video just last week, I think it was, about what do you do with orphans?
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
In the mindset of an orphan, and don't go hitting them up with well, you should get this and that. And then what happened was, a couple days ago, I got notifications that somebody in my downline was stacked 2 orphans. They're not doing the business. It's a friend of mine that I've stacked a lot. So I'm like, well, she's not going to do anything. So I literally this morning drafted emails with the wordings that you used, and I popped the letter in the mail along with some samples and materials, but I sent them an email, and in the email, I had a link to my Facebook group, and within seconds, she's asking to join. I'm like, that never happened. So
An orphan.
An orphan. Freaking orphan. I welcomed her. I friend requested her. An orphan. Yeah. So it's not just Go for Gold. I call it the Martha method now. When I'm talking to anybody, whether it's my family or my team, it's the Martha method, which is bigger than Go for Gold. It's just a different way of doing this. Yeah.
Oh man, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Always the Martha method win throughout the day somehow, somewhere.
I love it. I love that. I mean, how many people have had orphans and then they just, it's almost like when you get an orphan, it's like, that's cool. I'll never talk to them. That's cool. They'll never do anything else. It's like, that is like the reality for most people. Whereas they signed up for a reason. I mean, we have to address it. Yeah, that video, that was a fun video to do because I knew it was going to hit people right where they needed it.
Yeah, it was great. I've gotten lots of orphans. One, actually, we've become friends with. We ended up having a mutual relationship. This was years ago, but it went, 1 in 4 years. So this is now the first time I applied this, and I said, my intention is not to sell you anything or have you ask you to sell anything. I'm here as a, resource for you. We have a group. I have an email. I know, and I said I've been with Young Living for 4 years. I have a lot of experience. Yes. And it worked right away. So
get the elephant out of the room, right?
Yeah.
Get out. Yeah. Just like the fear is sitting right in the middle of the room. Address the fear, get it out, and then we can all talk normally to each other, right?
Normally, yeah, totally. And not
That's
be
awesome.
all like sounding like I just drank the Young Living Kool-Aid 24/7, which is like what we were all doing for a while, and
And it just
yeah,
that's what feels MLM-y. That's what feels MLM-y is when people are when there are some things that I really like that are where we talk about Young Living, but then we also talk about other things. Like I use colloidal silver too, right? Like there's other things that I use that Young Living doesn't have, but I like there's all of this stuff, but that makes you more trustworthy because you're not just offering things that Young Living has because that's MLM-y, right?
yeah,
Because there's more to our life and there's more to our lifestyle than just what Young Living has. Now, do they have over 600 products? Yes. Can they cover a lot of it? Yes. But you just look more trustworthy whenever you mention more stuff, right?
yeah,
And like elderberry, we don't have elderberry stuff, but I mean, crunchy moms know that we need elderberry in our life, right? So did you ever have a moment at all? Oh no, you did. It kind of sounded like it. Did you have a moment at all where you were on the fence and you were like, I don't know, is this another one of those things? I kind of heard you say that a little bit earlier.
yeah. So, right after the holidays, when I was able to sit down and buckle down, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this, and I did start doing the modules, and I was wanting to get through them quickly because I just felt like I didn't have time to waste. And so some of the stuff it wasn't registering because I didn't have the big picture, like creating lead magnets and doing that. I thought it was unnecessary. It was a lot of work, extra work that was taking away from the end goal. And because I've been down so many rabbit holes, I started second guessing things because I didn't see the pieces coming together yet.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I was like, you know what, this is too much. It's too complicated. It's unnecessary. All of this is unnecessary.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, the big light bulb moments were hearing other people's interviews kind of. So then when I went back and I said, okay, I'm gonna go all in and we're just gonna see. At this point, I have nothing to lose. And I just started at one and I focused only on one, pretending that nothing else was behind it, and got it. And then moved on to two. And then when I saw how everything came together, that's when I couldn't shut up about it. That was the point where I was like, I get the whole thing,
Yes.
I get why, yeah.
It's magic. We put it together the way that we put it together, not so you can understand it as you go, because we don't have time to teach a college class on why everything goes where it goes. Because you don't have the time to take a college class on it. So what we did is we taught you, okay, we're going to do this, and then we're going to do this, and then we're going to do this. And we're not going to talk about why. We're not going to get into all of that because we don't have time for it. We're just going to tell you what you need to do. And so if you ever see somebody out there that says like, go for gold isn't really blah, 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 they probably didn't do it, you guys.
Mm-hmm.
They probably didn't do it, because if they did do it, then they would have this aha moment at the end where it's like, right? Yeah. Like your business just built itself pretty much. Like that's
once it all came together, it was like I just got the key to my future and I get it and it makes sense. And it's the first time that it makes sense. It was also when I started feeling like this business was as legitimate as my former careers, that it wasn't just this home mom business throwing parties and, I tried all the things, and I kept thinking, like, don't let your ego get in the way with that. And I was fine with doing all that, but when it's not working, then it is just like this hokey home business that's it's not paying the bills. Right. So now I felt that, yes, this is like, I sit down and I know I have a start, a middle, and an end to my day. It's not just this, what can I do next? What can I do next? Like out of desperation of, what can I do next? Just more. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And there are a lot of people, and I hear this whenever I first started talking about Go for Gold. I was letting people know that, like, people were getting frustrated with classes, right? And people not showing up to classes. And some people, well, a lot of people were told that they needed to do classes in order to be successful. And I didn't sign anybody up through classes ever. And I still haven't, I don't do them. Unless they're already on my team, and I sort of soft educate that way. But like, in order to bring people into my team, I don't do that. However, that being said, there are people that do classes, and there are people that do vendor events and that sort of thing. And really, you guys, the way that this works with that, this is going to be the way that you get people to your classes again. If you enjoy doing classes, you warm up your leads. You need a place to do that. You need a system to do that. You warm them up, and then you get them back into your classes, okay? And then you've got them in a system where you can nurture them until they're members. You guys, if you're doing classes and vendor events and you don't have a system in place, like an onboarding system, right? Like what she was talking about with corporate America, that's what it is. We go and we're successful at these corporate America jobs because they tell us we have a list of our duties. We know what we're supposed to be doing, and we can excel when we know that. So that's what this is. It's just saying, like, do this, do that, do this, do that, and that's how it goes. But if you don't have that, but you're bringing in leads from vendor events or classes, or like if you want to learn from me from social media and stuff like that, you still need the system, or else they're going to fall through the cracks. And you're wasting your time, and you're wasting their time. And who knows, like, if they're ever going to sign up. Like, it's just such a like mishmash of being unorganized. I'm a chaotic mom. That's my brand. However, I'm organized. My life is a little bit crazy, but my business is organized. My, like, what I do is organized, and that's the system, you guys. So sorry, I got a message. What? I don't know what that is. One of those moments where you're like, wait, heck is that? So what would you say to somebody that is on the fence about getting Go for Gold then?
If you are not having the success that you want, then take the course. It's not a subscription, which a lot of people have become used to having to pay. It's a one-time fee. You own it, and just do it slowly, and your mind will be blown, because it's like nothing else. It's like a lot of, it'll sound very familiar, the things that we're doing, but there is structure and actual action steps in between. I've heard from many different, like, depending on what Royal Crown Diamond you're talking to, like, do the micro work, contact 10 people a day. But what does that mean? And a simple thing like conversation cheat sheets really help take that conversation to the next level. People reaching out to me, asking for more information, and me, like, word vomiting on them. Like, I've learned not to do that, which has, like, helped me continue that dialogue where I don't get ghosted. There's so many things that come along with the Go for Gold. That is the tip of the iceberg. And, like, so I say just do it. It is a really inexpensive investment. That's a write-off, and you own the course.
That's right. And then it keeps growing. So
and then and now I'm working on getting my people on my team to join. I have one person on my downline that's doing the course right now, and she says the same thing. She's shutting everybody else out. I said, I'm shutting everything else out. I cannot have the noise or feel like, oh, a next new shiny thing. Like, no, I am doubling down on this. This is what I know is going to get me to be able to support my family. I know it.
That's it. You guys, if you don't know who I am, if you're watching this on YouTube later and you're not sure about who I am, I'm a business strategist first. I came to the game as a business strategist, okay? Like, this is my lane all day long. This system was not by accident. I didn't just fall into success and then it's like, well, here's what I did. I succeeded by design. I succeeded because I created something to succeed. That's what this is for you guys. It's not accidental, and it's not weird. It's the best way. in my opinion, it's the best way to sell anything. It's heart-centered, it's relationship-driven, it's everything that Gary would have wanted us to do in building our business, you guys. Everything, okay? Well, what else do you have for people? Did you have any last, I always feel weird saying last words because that's not what I mean.
You know, some huge things for me were, because I had been trying, working at this for so long, I had picked up so many tasks or to-dos that my day became like so big in the things that I should be doing every day. And I was working from a fear, space of fear that like I couldn't afford to not do something. And even though this is like a new system, I dropped all the other things. And so my days are lighter. I vow that, and I'm not going to say never because that doesn't work. I've already, you know, but 2020, I'm not doing any more classes. I will support someone if they want to do one, and I will show up, but I'm not hosting classes, and I hosted a lot of classes in my house. 2020, no more classes, which means no more promoting classes, which is 2 weeks up front of work, planning, cleaning the house, doing the things, then seeing who shows up, and then the follow-up system beyond it for one event. The return on that is like not good for me. Even if I'm enrolling people, I didn't have the opportunity to have a conversation to do the ER. It just wasn't working. So the idea of not doing any classes this year is great. I'm not doing any vendor events. I did one last weekend. I'm not doing any more. I'm not doing any of that. I know that my days are Monday through Friday. My weekends are to me again, which I haven't had in a long time, and years. So I feel like I've gotten my life back too, in many ways. And the fact that I can do this and know I can grow without having to, I heard this 100 hours a week gets tossed around a lot. Like, you know, you have to work 100 hours a week to grow. And
what?
Yeah, big time, big time.
Whoa.
So it's more than just knowing that I can, this is a career for me now. This is a career that I stopped believing could be possible, that I have the belief again and the confidence again, and to do it with a lot less stress and more time with my family. Like,
I have never, on my Young Living, and mind you, I have different income streams, right? But for my Young Living business, I have never worked more than 2 hours a day, you guys. Never. Like, that's where this system, you're to me, 100 hours a week to succeed or to grow, that's not worth it. Whenever it comes to, I have a 5-year-old, she'll be 18 before I know it if I'm working 100 hours a week, right? Not to mention the stress on my heart, the stress on the different, you know, like this, we know about our bodies, right? That's not a life I want to live. So that's not sustainable to people. So if you're going to tell I can't even believe people are saying that.
And it's what attractive to people, because I lost a lot of business. People that joined me when I was new and would hear that, and they're like, well, I have a full-time job. I don't want to spend my nights and weekends for the next 5 years. I get it. There's a huge payday, but I don't want to sacrifice today for, you know, so.
For the idea of tomorrow.
Right. It's not guaranteed.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so a huge weight has been lifted in many ways with this whole Martha method.
Oh my gosh, you cracked me up. Awesome. Well, we'll pop off of here. Thank you so much. I appreciate you coming on and chit-chatting with me.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, everybody have a good day, and I'll see you later.